Welcome to the channel. We are around the world. Hell? Yep, sorry, I meant Venus. Welcome to Venus. Some say it's Earth's twin, but this world is nothing like home, and you're about to experience this scorching hot landscape firsthand. Your mission is to spend 5 seconds on this hellish planet, and trust me, these are going to be a very long 5 seconds. And our nearest neighbor at its closest approach, Venus, is a mere 40 million kilometers away from us. After just 4 months in space, you'd finally be able to witness this beautiful but deadly planet up close. 4.5 billion years ago, Venus and Earth formed in the same corner of our solar system. This space rock is about the same size as Earth, and its gravity is similar too, but unlike our home, the surface situation on Venus is extreme. We know this because we've sent probes to this scorching world. Some probes orbited it, some made a flyby, and some even landed on the surface of Venus. But, those didn't last very long. What happened to them? Well, that's what you're about to find out. Time to make your way down to the surface. Don't these clouds look beautiful? Well, don't inhale them. These yellowish bands streaking across the sky are clouds of sulfuric acid. Imagine standing on the surface of this alien world. The air is thick with swirling gases, and if you could only get a whiff of them, you'd instantly notice the unmistakable reek of rotten eggs. That smell comes from sulfur compounds, which fill the atmosphere and make it incredibly harsh and unwelcoming for any form of life as we know it. But to experience that smell, you'd have to remove your helmet, and trust me, that's something you should never attempt. The atmosphere here is not just smelly, it's toxic and would be deadly to breathe. Your spacesuit is your only protection from the dangerous gases and extreme conditions outside. At a height of 50 kilometers above the surface, the air becomes even more opaque. Visibility is extremely poor. You'd hardly be able to see anything at all as the dense clouds and fog block out almost all light, creating a perpetual twilight. The incredibly thick atmosphere acts like a heavy blanket, completely obscuring the planet's surface and hiding its tens of thousands of volcanoes from view. Even from above, the landscape remains a mystery, shrouded in swirling, toxic clouds that never seem to clear. So, the atmosphere is mostly made up of carbon dioxide, and because it's so thick, it traps heat on the planet's surface, keeping it nice and toasty. Just how toasty are we talking? Oh, you're gonna find out the hard way. As you descend another 15 kilometers, the haze would begin to clear. The world below would finally reveal itself, a rust-colored surface covered in mountains and volcanoes. Looks like this volcano is still active. The ground is trembling and you can see rivers of molten lava carving their way through the dark, jagged rocks. It's a breathtaking yet intimidating sight, definitely not your average landing zone. You'd fly around a little to collect some samples and, just take in the view. The landscape below is wild and untamed, with plumes of smoke rising from fissures and glowing patches of lava lighting up the surface. Yep, the atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide with traces of nitrogen. That checks out. The thick orange clouds make it hard to see, and you can almost feel the heat radiating through the hull of your ship. Okay, well, let's see if you can land here. The controls are a bit sluggish, and the turbulence is picking up as you descend closer to the surface. This looks like the spot. It's flat enough and there aren't too many boulders, just a lot of ash and dust swirling around. Looks like there's no signal. The instruments are flickering and you're flying blind for a moment, not exactly reassuring. Initiating the landing sequence without clearance, fingers crossed. Let's hope the landing gear holds up and you don't end up as just another crater on this wild volcanic world. Landing your spacecraft would kick up clouds of dust that would take several minutes to settle down in the soupy atmosphere. And, as it clears, you'd look up into the sky, but you wouldn't find the familiar yellow circle of the sun. On Venus, it always looks like dawn, no matter what time of day it is. That's because the Venusian atmosphere only lets about 10% of the sunlight that hits it reach the surface. What were we saying earlier about the space probe that landed on Venus? Oh yeah, Venera 13. This Soviet probe made its fatal landing back in 1981. It survived the descent and lasted for a whopping 127 minutes. That's longer than any other spacecraft that had made it to the surface, but then Venera 13 gave way to the violent, uninviting environment of this hell. It was likely crushed under extreme pressure or it melted. But it's too late to turn around now. You've lived through the 1-hour-long landing and honestly, you're so close. All you need to do to complete your mission is to spend 5 seconds out there. Hey, yeah, out there in the most extreme environment you've ever been to. Whoa, the atmosphere is so strange you can hardly lift your arms. Even though Venus has about the same gravity as Earth, you'd be feeling the sheer weight of its immensely dense air. So, honestly, it would feel like you were walking through water, very hot water actually, and you'd definitely be glad you were wearing so much protective gear. Just a quick look at your thermometer would tell you that it's a sweltering 475 degrees Celsius out here. That's, hot enough to melt lead. Your pressurized suit would really be working hard to keep you safe, acting as your personal shield against the planet's extreme environment. Every layer is designed to protect you from crushing pressure, scorching heat, and toxic atmosphere. It's not just a suit, it's your lifeline, your portable habitat, and your only chance of survival on this hostile world. Without it, you'd be crushed under all that pressure before you could even complete your mission. The forces here are so intense that even the toughest materials can buckle in seconds. That's why every seam, every joint, and every system in your suit is engineered to withstand the unimaginable. With all this technology wrapped around you, it's almost easy to forget just how dangerous it really is. This isn't so bad after all. Hey, if a spacecraft could last over 2 hours some 40 years ago, with far less advanced protection, well, you and your shiny new gear can survive longer, right? With today's technology, you're better equipped than ever to face the unknown and push the boundaries of exploration. Venus is right here for you to discover, just take a few more steps. Suddenly, something distracts you from the first-hand human analysis of Venus's surface conditions. Your protective suit breaks. The drastic pressure shift would immediately make you feel like you were deep underwater. With an atmospheric pressure 90 times that of Earth, Venus would be crushing you from all directions. At the same time, you'd be struggling to breathe in an atmosphere without any oxygen. Any atmosphere you did manage to inhale would honestly scald the inside of your mouth and the top of your throat. Unless you could scramble very quickly back to the safety of your spacecraft, you'd be dead within seconds. Hey, it could be worse, you know. High above you, sulfuric acid clouds would be raining acid. But in this unbearably hot environment, the toxic rain wouldn't even reach the surface. It would evaporate long before that. So, at least you wouldn't have to worry about acid dissolving your skin and bones. That would be, kind of gruesome. You know, in hindsight maybe we shouldn't have sent you down to explore this hellish surface. We probably should have terraformed Venus into a more hospitable planet first. But that's a story for another time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We're around the world.